Story 1. I'm not saying it was chickens, but it was chickens. They eat weeds and table scraps. They give us eggs and good compost. They are funny as can be. They force me to go outside regularly. But the best part is they are really good for my family's mental health, just hanging out with them, which is especially needed this year. Story 2. I am living in Southeast Asia where it is scorching hot. I have no air conditioner in my room, so I bought an air cooler just before the lockdown started. Best purchase. It does not cool the room entirely, but it makes the heat bearable. Story 3. An inflatable stand-up paddleboard. Being able to drive to a lake and paddle around on the water for a few hours really helped me get through this year. Story 4. A telescope. So incredible to see Jupiter's moons and Saturn, and see that there is much more in the sky than meets the eye. Edit. Thanks for the awards. For those who intend to purchase a telescope, I really recommend spending some time doing research. There are different kinds of telescopes, and their use depends on the purpose you have. A good telescope for viewing planets may not be the best for observing deep sky objects. A telescope may be great to use at home but might be too big to travel with. Another might be easy to set up but not the best for astrophotography. It's really important to do some research to find out which kind better suits you. Story 5. I didn't think it would be so handy, but I use it every day. It's knowing that I can just grab it and go instead of worrying about gathering everything or realizing I left something at home that I needed. Story 6. I impulse bought a massive cutting board from IKEA that lives on our counter for $14. We love it, even if IKEA performs some sort of Jedi mind trick to get us to buy it since we came in for a desk. Story 7. House. My wife and I were both working from home in a 500 square foot apartment, which did not go well. We finally got a house with room to spread out, and it's made our lives much easier. I recognize this is not an easy purchase, but instead was one that we've been saving for 8 years. Story 8. Invisalign, I am 2 months in, can see major improvements, and people don't have to see or hear me talk funny with a retainer. 2 more months to go. Never thought I would win an award for having crooked teeth, but now it seems worth it. Story 9. I bought a running 1984 Camaro for the sake of learning how to work on cars and having a project vehicle. I've been wanting to do this since I was a kid. So far, I've rebuilt drum brakes, changed universal joints, changed all-wheel bearings and seals, bought a new carburetor, upgraded to an electric radiator fan, restored all the gauges back to factory original, and a bunch of other stuff. I will say I've learned a substantial amount so far. When I get some money saved up, I'm going to tear into the engine and rebuild it. I'm leaving it as a 1984 Camaro. The project car post is up. Story 10. LASIK. Seriously, I have not had a moment where I have regretted it. Truly is life-changing. People who can see naturally, you have no idea how good you have it. Wow, this comment got a lot of questions and attention. To answer some, it was not painful. I had some dry eyes on the way home after the surgery that felt like sandpaper. But once I was home, I napped, thanks to the medicine, and by the time I was awake, it was gone and I could see. Take some time for it to heal, but the healing process is painless. The surgery did not hurt whatsoever, you are completely numb, and it was extremely fast. Please do not try to cut costs for it. This is your vision, so make sure you find someone very reputable. If you are on the fence about it, do it. Seriously, the best decision I've ever made. Thanks for the awards. Story 11. Technically not this year, but in December 2019, without knowing what was around the corner, I bought a bidet. Little did I know what a great purchase it would actually turn out to be. Even without the pandemic, it is probably the best purchase I have ever made. Story 12. I bought a $2 travel mug that gets me free coffee from a gas station on every Tuesday. I can't wait for my 200th free coffee, because after that I'll have essentially paid less than 1 penny for each refill. This is the goal in life. Story 13. Got my first gaming desktop. Oh my gosh. The difference is amazing. Edit. Holy crap. Thank you so much for the love. Everyone keeps asking, so I'll add that it was store-bought. I'd love to build one next, but for now, here are the specifications. Advanced Micro Devices Ryzen 5 3400G with Radeon Vega graphics 3.7 GHz. 8 gigabytes of random access memory, 64-bit Windows 10 professional operating system build 19,041.685. It's a start, but it's 10 times better than what I had. Story 14. I bought a new vacuum cleaner. It's much better than my old vacuum cleaner. I love it. Lesson learned. Don't make a comment on Reddit and then walk away because I came back to 157 notifications for all your comments. I did my best to read them all, but for future commenters, here is my new vacuum cleaner. Story 15. My cat is a tiny calico that definitely sees more invisible demons than the average cat, but she is the best thing to come out of 2020. I told her how many people thought she was cute and it promptly went to her head, and she knocked my glass of water over. For a bit of extra heartfeltness, she was a foster fail. I was uncertain about adopting her until we saw how quickly she and our other cat bonded. He had been lonely since our roommate moved out with her cat. Fortunately, our other foster baby was adopted by our old roommate. Story 16. I just bought a heated blanket last night. It is the best solution for my cramps. I usually end up passing out from the pain, but once I wrapped myself in the blanket, they became manageable. Edit. I know my cramps sound bad, but believe me, I have been on multiple forms of birth control since I was 16, and so far, none of that has worked. I do not get my first pap smear until I turn 21, so do not worry. My doctor is well aware of my constant pain and agony. Normally, to help ease my cramps, I take a leave on the first day of my period. I have also found that eating soy products helps ease the pain as well. I think it has something to do with the estrogen levels. I drink soy milk and eat edamame the week before I am supposed to start. Add those things plus the heated blanket, and it is smooth sailing. Story 17. Melatonin gummy bears. I used to wake up in the middle of the night, but now I get great deep sleep. Edit. Don't thank me, thank my wife for getting this at Kroger. I hope it helps you all like it did for me. Story 18. A mattress warmer with dual controls. It fits directly on the mattress like a mattress protector with the bottom sheet going over it. The warmth comes up gently from below and encourages your body to relax and enjoy a good sleep, especially on cold winter nights. Story 19. Got my eyes zapped with the small incision lenticule extraction procedure. Wow. I've worn glasses for almost 20 years and I'm just amazed. 2 months later, I still go to take off my glasses and remember I'm not wearing any. Story 20. I got a $50 Motorola phone after my Google Pixel 3a was stolen at the beach. It does everything my other phone did except take good pictures. It does everything noticeably slower, but it's incredible that you can even get a smartphone for $50. Typing this on it right now. Story 21. My first cup of coffee. I recently left the Mormon church, which teaches that drinking it is sinful, and found this to be a simple joy that I was missing out on. Edit. Wow. Thank you everyone for all the awards and comments. You have really brightened my day as well. Story 22. My dog. Wanted one my whole life. Finally decided I was settled enough and ready for the responsibility. Adopted her in August, and while she has turned my life upside down, it's great. The last week or so has been rough, but I have to get up every single day to walk her, and by the time we get back, it's pointless to go back to bed, so I prepare her breakfast, then mine, and then I do the things I need to get done. Story 23. My kitten. As a kid growing up, our cats never paid attention to the kids, so I never cared for them and never really wanted a cat. I have had my kitten for 4 months now. I think she's 8 or 10 months old, and she's super playful and always wants to be around me. When she's not playing, she waits for me while I work and will sleep in front of my keyboard. Story 24. I dumped a clunker car for a new one. It was a money drain, plus the value had dropped much further than I thought. The amount of stress relief was immense, and the money saved, even with a new car payment, is very beneficial. Story 25. We got to meet our son at Walmart the other day, and he brought 2 of his daughters that we haven't seen since March. Ages 6 and 4, they wanted to ride the electric cart with Granddaddy. The little 4-year-old asked me, "Can I have this?" I said, "Girls, you can have anything you want." When we met up with my wife and son, they laughed at me because my buggy was full. The only things I would let my son take out of the cart were slime, Play-Doh, and a paint set. Story 26. All of the parts for my first personal computer. I'm very happy with it, and it has turned out to be very useful for school. It also means I can play Cyberpunk 2077 later today. Story 27. I got $35 for my birthday. I spent $15 on the Henry Stickmin collection, then waited until Halloween for a sale. I bought Portal and Portal 2, then waited until Thanksgiving. Then I bought Half-Life. I'm definitely going to have a lot of stuff to do over winter break. Story 28. Hands down a menstrual cup. I used to be scared and even grossed out by them, but using one has changed my life. Now I feel in control of my body and not the opposite. Story 29. I got new whiteboards. I don't understand how people can survive without them. The ability to just jot things down somewhere clear and visible has so many uses. You can make lists, plan your days, and even work out problems so easily. It's a lot less intimidating than writing in notebooks too, because you can easily erase what you want. I've used whiteboards for years, and getting these new ones was sorely needed. Story 30. Not sure if this counts as a purchase since we did not pay anything, but we foster failed one of our puppies this year. We have donated heavily to the rescue in the form of medical bills paid for other fosters, so they waived the adoption fee. Edit. Foster failing is the process of a foster family adopting their foster animal. The reason that it is considered a failure is that many people foster fail on their first or second animal and get out of fostering, reducing the ability of rescues to save additional lives. This is distinct from fosters that are deliberately doing a foster-to-adopt arrangement. In our case, Machi, formerly known as Iago, was foster number 310 to 319 since May 2012, had his mom and siblings, hence the numeric uncertainty. And we have continued fostering. Foster number 361 is in the house right now and should be upping the count in the next 1 to 2 weeks. Story 31. Not so much a purchase for myself, but a few different donations. I helped a few kids with getting backpacks and school supplies, and they sent me nice letters. Story 32. An NVMe solid-state drive, Samsung EVO 970. It's overkill, they said. You don't need it, they said. The improvement in boot and loading speeds was definitely worth the money. I don't think I'll ever need a new solid-state drive. Yes, I know it will die one day, it's a metaphor. Edit. Okay, it's not a hard drive. Story 33. Getting my tubes tied. I'm so excited I can't pass my genetic problems on to the next generation. Mental health issues on my dad's side. Hereditary health conditions on my mom's. Story 34. Honestly, probably the anti-fatigue floor mat I picked up for $24 that now lives by my sink or stove. Standing there is like floating on a cloud and makes cooking or cleanup so much better. Story 35. You know what? There's a Peloton and other home gym equipment. I rapidly gained weight early this year. I lost my job at a hotel, lost my father, and our wedding was canceled. I ate my feelings, and arguably I still am. With no gyms open and honestly no desire to exercise, I just faced getting heavier and sadder. I know it's gimmicky, but the Peloton really turned around my relationship with my body and health this year. I love the classes, and it encouraged me to get outside and start running again. I bought it in August, and I've now lost all of the weight I gained this year, and I'm simply feeling better. I'm drinking less and eating better just because I feel more connected to my body and health, and the endorphins from exercise have helped me keep my head up every day. Seriously, it was worth every cent, and it was not cheap. Story 36. I discovered mushrooms and bought everything I needed to start growing them for personal use. They've helped me a lot, and I really enjoy the hobby and process. I'm getting a lot of responses and messages asking about the growing process. I'm not very knowledgeable, but I can read and follow instructions, just like cooking with a recipe. There are many great resources here on Reddit. I followed the Uncle Ben's guide to get me started and then tweaked my process through trial and error. Please read that guide before asking the forum with questions. The Shroomery website and YouTube also have a lot of information. Story 37. My hair is like a sponge. It holds so much water, so it normally takes a very long time to dry. It is also very wavy and curly and therefore tends to get pretty frizzy, so normally I would have to straighten it after blow drying. With the Dyson Airwrap, I do not have to straighten it afterwards, and it cuts my drying time down by about half an hour. It saves so much time and greatly reduces damage from heat styling. Story 38. Well, I recently moved because of a stalker issue. I've been attempting to turn this new apartment into a smart home and started with a peephole camera on the door. I haven't had any luck with the stalker yet. I got her on film, but there's nothing I can prove is sinister until the restraining order goes through. However, I did catch a video of my best friend struggling to get a heavy box into my apartment and his pants falling down around his ankles. In my opinion, the camera paid for itself after that, laughing out loud. Next up is a smart deadbolt for the door. I have kids, and I'm not playing this stalker game. The one that would fit on my apartment door is way out of my budget, however. Story 39. My wife bought me a pair of Felco pruning shears for the pandemic garden, and I thought, come on. $50 for pruning shears? But let me tell you, they were a dream. They could cut anything, cut cleanly, and felt comfortable. I was out in the woods trimming random trees and bushes because the pruning shears just felt so good to use. Story 40. A kalimba. I saw somebody playing it on that stupid Reddit public network thing that Reddit shoves in the feed of your mobile app. Clicked the video because I was intrigued and was amazed. Bought a kalimba a few days later. I've had it for a week, and I'm discovering the world of music, and I love it.